Welcome back everyone to another Balatro video. As you can see up on the screen right now, we have hit 500 subscribers. Thank you guys all so much for supporting the channel and being here. We've hit 500 subscribers in just over 2 months of uploading, so that is absolutely amazing. This kind of unlocks that first tier of some YouTube monetization for me, so that's going to be absolutely exciting to get going. And our next milestone is 1,000. And then really we've done it. We've completed what we want to do here on YouTube, and I'll just continue to pump out content for you. So thank you all so much for the 500 subscribers. I really appreciate it. We're gonna do something different in today's video. It's not gonna be a high score attempt. We're actually gonna go through kind of my profile and my stats. So we'll go ahead and click on my name here, Orange Aces. I have 183 total wins. I haven't even finished the full collection. I have 2 things missing. We'll go over that. I haven't done any challenges. I only have 20% Joker stickers and only 20% deck stake wins. So those are all things that we can still do on this channel. This is my only profile. I don't have anything else. I've never used a mod on this game, so I really haven't even unlocked the full potential of what Balatro can do for me. So we can dive a little bit deeper in here and go to my stats. And as you can see, my best hand ever played is E to the 241, 9.337. It would be sick if that was a 1. Let me know in the comment section if you know what I'm talking about. So almost E242, but E241. It was in a recent video. It was my unseeded Nan-Inf attempt number 2. So if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out. That pretty much got all of my records. So my highest round 80, highest ante 32. I've never made it to ante 39. I haven't hit Nan-Inf yet. Those are all still on the docket to do so. Obviously, since I go for a lot of high score rounds, high card is my most played hand at 4,784 times. The most money I've ever had in a run is $5,678. I believe that was also in the unseeded Nan-Inf attempt. I'm not exactly sure on that one. Could have been a lot more. Go ahead and watch that video if you haven't. I kind of fumbled the Nan-Inf attempt for sure. My best win streak currently at 0, but all time is at 7. So now I actually want to go into our card stats, which I find to be very, very interesting and cool. And I wish a couple other streamers would make this video so I could see what the most used cards are for them. So starting with Jokers. Interestingly enough, Brainstorm is my most used card. Now, for example, this is total completed rounds with this card. So Brainstorm, a rare Joker, is actually my #1 card, or my #1 Joker with the most completed rounds at 2,291. No surprise, coming in second and third is the Hanging Chad and the Photograph. If you watched my video yesterday, you noticed the 1 photo Chad, 2 photo Chad. We had a lot of fun with that run. So that is definitely my number 2 and 3. And honestly, I still have less uses all time than the Brainstorm, which is very crazy. Blueprint. You would think that Blueprint and Brainstorm kind of come hand in hand. I must have just had some better RNG with Brainstorm showing up more than Blueprint. I do play a lot of Plasma deck, so that's why Scary Face is coming in at number 5 here with 1,500 rounds completed. Sokkin Buskin, that's probably a lot of earlier gameplay that I would do, is a lot of re-triggering with face cards. Recently, I've been doing a lot of Baron and Mime, so that's why you see those 2 here. DNA, of course, going for the Nan-Inf, you also need DNA. And Mail-in Rebate, probably one of the best economy Jokers that you could really get in the game. Moving on to Consumables, my #1 consumable used is none other than the Pluto, followed by the Hermit. The Hermit's probably an insta-take every single time. Also probably the Death card an insta-take for me. Temperance, depending on how many Jokers you have and what the value of them. Sometimes I'll take it, but clearly I've taken it a lot. Mars card, a little bit surprising coming in next. So I've played a lot of 4 of a kinds, not as many as Pluto. Hanging Man, or the Hanged Man, definitely one of my favorites. Deck fixing is very, very important. The Fool is one of my most loved cards because you can get literally anything on this from the Fool. So I really do like using the Fool tactfully. The Emperor, just the element of surprise and being able to get 2 tarot cards. A lot of tarot cards are very powerful and strong, so having the Emperor is a good thing. Strength, getting those queens up into kings for those high score runs is definitely why strength is high on this list. And Aries, flush 5. This is kind of an odd one. I didn't expect it to make my, what is this, top 10? I didn't expect to make it the top 10 because it's a hard card to achieve. You have to unlock it by playing a flush 5 first, or it doesn't even show up. So clearly I've went for a lot of high score flush 5 builds. If you search by just tarot cards, obviously these ones will all be the same. After the strength comes the High Priestess, you know, getting kind of like the Emperor, getting some planet cards definitely helps with scaling early. You got to take a Wheel of Fortune every now and then just for some fun, especially if you have a Oops All Sixes. Comes a 2 and 4. A Magician, lucky cards, one of my favorite types of cards in the games for sure, so that's why it's showing up here. Planets, we only saw 3 of them on the last list. As you can see, Pluto with a commanding lead, Mars, Aries. Planet X is close behind. I don't expect this to go up much more. I've kind of turned a new leaf on Planet X, just because Mars scales the exact same or nearly the same, and Aries is ultimately the best. So if you could skip Planet X, I would do it so it doesn't muddy up your planet system. I've only recently learned that. Venus coming in next. I swear I don't normally take 3 of a kind. I'm not really a flush user, so a lot of people like to play flushes, but here you go, 444, a lot less than my top 3. Uranus, Earth, Saturn. Saturn's been growing on me. I did a few straight builds recently, and Pair. So honestly, not a love to the straight flush. It's not even making this list. We can move on to Spectral cards. Cryptid being my number 1 use, 164 times. Honestly, anytime you can duplicate some Red Seal Steel Kings or make some more Kings just deck fixing, I find that extremely important. Deja Vu, one of the most important cards needed for the Barren Mine builds. Immolate's a really fun one, 20 bucks, and you get a lot of deck fixing. How could you say no to that? Ectoplasm, also very good. Unfortunately, like, I could use infinite cryptids, but ectoplasms, max you could use like 3 a game, right? Or and then your hand size is just terrible. So you have to have the right build for it. 1 is really, really good. I'd almost always take 1 ectoplasm in a run. 2, you're stretching it already. Medium, purple seal is important. Obviously we have Aura, Trance, Familiar, and Hex, all very similar. And I've only found 52 soul cards. So out of my 183 wins, 52 of them are probably with a soul card. And last but not least, we have vouchers, all pretty even, just because you typically tend to take the vouchers. Hand size is what I find to be clearly the most important one. Discards, extra hand size, or an extra hand. The hieroglyph I tend to take a lot. Blank voucher, antimatter, super important. Director's cut, definitely something more important now that I'm going for the Nan Infruns. Overstock, highly good voucher here. Notice none of them are the level 2 vouchers because you have to buy the level 1 voucher in order to see the level 2. So the level 2s will never be on this list. They just never will be, unless, let's say I really hated seed money and I started buying the second version of Director's Cut, Retcon, a lot more, and I never used seed money. Eventually it would pop into the top 10, eventually. But right now they're all level 1s. So that's really it. We can go over and see what I still need to unlock in the collection. It looks like I have 2 vouchers that I have never unlocked. I know one of them for sure is the secondary planet voucher, because I just have never I've never really redeemed it before. I've bought the planet merchant before, but I've never redeemed this one, so it doesn't show up here. And I don't even have this one unlocked. Buy a total of 20 playing cards in the shop. That shows you how little I have bought in Magic Trick. That probably all comes from 1 or 2 runs. So I don't even have my collection finished. I have everything else, all of the Jokers, all the decks. It's just those 2 vouchers that I'm missing in my collection. We could quickly go over some Jokers, and you can see my stickers on them here. So I have a lot of scattered, like white, black, blue. There's a couple green stake Jokers. Fun fact, one of my original high scores was on green stake. So if you go look at a really old video, one of my higher scores, yeah, is a green stake run, which is kind of funny. We can, yeah, another red stake sticker over here, a lot of white stake, a few purples mixed in. To be honest with you, I have never even won a gold stake match yet. It'll come. We're gonna do a gold stake for sure. It'll come. This is the closest. Oh, that's a red one. I definitely have an orange stake win, which I believe is the second last one. Purple on the blueprint, purple on the Yorick. I decided not to look at my stickers anymore until I have them all perfectly on gold stake, which will take a very long time. However, this video is about the 500 subscribers. So thank you all so much. I hope you enjoyed this video looking at my stats over here on Balatro. More high score and goofy runs to come in the coming few days. If you're new here, we are officially on the road to 1,000 subscribers now, and I would be thrilled if you could join the ride and leave a subscription, leave a comment, all that fun stuff. Thank you all so much. Have a good day. Take care. Goodbye.